wonderful home with two dedicated and loving parents, one of 5 brothers and sisters. A home where we as children were the focus of my parents' lives, where we regularly attended church, 2 Christian parents who did not drink, they did not smoke, there was no gambling, there was no physical abuse or fighting in the home. Basically, I was a normal person. I wasn't some guy hanging out at bars or a bum. I wasn't a pervert in the sense that, you know, people look at somebody and say, I know there's something wrong with him, you just tell. I mean, I was essentially a normal person. I had good friends. I led a normal life, except for this one small but very potent and very destructive segment of it that I kept very secret, very close to myself, and didn't let anybody know about it.
From 1974 to 1978, a former Boy Scout with movie star looks and charm to match crisscrossed the country, a devious predator in search of prey. 30 young girls and women ages 13 to 26 were raped and murdered before cops finally collared Ted Bundy.
He was born Theodore Robert Cowell in 1946 to an unwed mother and was partially raised by his grandparents. He moved around the country as a child, eventually landing in Washington state, where his mother married a man named John Bundy. He enrolled in law school in 1973, but by the following year seemed to lose interest and dropped out. While authorities don't know when Bundy first started to kill, the earliest crimes they were able to link to him were in Washington state in 1974. A college student was badly beaten and sexually assaulted in her basement apartment. And after that, young women in the state started disappearing every month until the summer. Around that time, Bundy moved to Utah, where authorities say his killing spree continued.
19-year-old Denise Nasland and 23-year-old Janice Ott disappear on a warm summer day at Lake Sammamish. Though there was no sign of the women, several witnesses told of a smooth-talking, good-looking young man named Ted.
On January 12, 1975, Karen Campbell disappeared from the Wildwood Inn.
Bundy ended up at the Wildwood Inn. Karen Campbell was a nurse from Michigan. She had come to the Wildwood Inn just like a day before.
Karen Campbell sat with her fiancé, Dr. Raymond Godowski, in front of a fire in the lobby of the Wildwood Inn. They had just finished dinner. Miss Campbell wanted a magazine from her room. About 8 o'clock in the evening, she caught the elevator to the lobby to the 2nd floor. That was the last time Godowski saw her alive. 36 days later, her nude body was found almost 3 miles away.
2 months later, he heads over to Vail and ends up killing 26-year-old ski instructor Julie Cunningham.
Bundy goes on this killing spree across the Northwest, and he kills 3 women, a 24-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 12-year-old.
One of the final murders that you committed, of course, was apparently little Kimberly Leach, 12 years of age. I think the public outcry is greater there because an innocent child was taken from a playground. What did you feel after that? Were there the normal emotions 3 days later? Where were you, Ted?
I can't really talk about that right now. That's
too painful.
I would like to be able to convey to you what that experience is like, but I can't. I won't be able to talk about that.
Okay.
In 1979, Bundy's trial became a public spectacle. Lovesick groupies showed up in court, desperate to attract attention. Bags of fan mail arrived at his Florida jail during his trial.
Ted's mail was as strange as anybody's mail could be. He got marriage proposals, lots and lots of women sent him pictures, some sent them nude pictures to him, dying for Ted to get back to them.
Bundy married one of his admirers before a jury found him guilty and sentenced him to death.
Acting as his own lawyer, Bundy questioned her about his character. She said he
He's a kind, warm, patient man, a very positive part of her life. Then the convicted man popped the question.
Carol, do you want to marry me? And I want to marry you. And I do want to marry you.
Bundy went on questioning Boone.
She did have a child by him, conceived behind a water cooler in the visitors park at Florida State Prison.
This court, independent of, but in agreement with, the advisory sentence rendered by the jury, does hereby impose the death penalty upon the defendant, Theodore Robert Bundy. Take care of yourself, young man.
Thank you.
I say that to you sincerely. Take care of yourself. It's a tragedy for this court to see such a total waste, I think, of humanity that I've experienced in this court. You're a bright young man. You made a good lawyer. I'd love to have you practice in front of me, but you went another way, partner.
Sentenced Theodore Bundy to die in the electric chair for the murder of 2 co-eds. Bundy is the 136th person under death sentence in Florida.
I'm not asking for mercy, for I find it somewhat absurd to ask for mercy for something I did not do. So I will be tortured for and will suffer for and receive the pain for that act. But I will not share the burden for the guilt.
Ted Bundy was put to death in the electric chair in 1989 at age 42.